Hey, good evening to Wealth Creator Live. Hey, I'm Laurean, your professional encourager. Hey, so one of the things that I love to do is I love to help people uncover and discover, you know, the work. I believe that God has placed inside of each of us when he designed us before the foundations of the earth. He designed each of us with our work, with something that we are passionate about, that he has fully equipped us to do, to bring into the world, to contribute to the world, to create wealth. And so one of the things that I love to do, I've helped many entrepreneurs discover what that work is, help them, create a business out of them, help them launch it, help them scale it, grow it, and, watch them flourish and expand their wealth from the thing that they are most passionate about. So, my question is like, do you believe that God has given each of us, a specific assignment to create wealth? Have you ever thought about that? I would have you sit with that for a little bit, do you believe that a business is a calling, that your work is a calling? A lot of times we just think that, callings are reserved for pastors and missionaries and, apostles and prophets and things like that. But have you ever thought about that your work is a calling from God? And I would like to actually really have you really think about that, because I actually believe that it's even a higher office than a pastor. Because if we don't have, the world is designed to function with resources, with money. And if we don't create that, we can't send the missionaries. We can't pay the pastors, the prophets, the apostles. You can't, fund nonprofit organizations, like food banks and all of those things. So I actually believe that the calling of an entrepreneur is actually a higher office and is most necessary and very, very vital. And actually, we can even make a larger impact in the world for the glory of God. One, by creating wealth and doing all the things I just said and being able to support so many different awesome things, right? But also because of our influence. Because, if you become a leader in the marketplace, you have influence with all of your customers, all of your employees. Beyond that, right? You have, a voice maybe on social media, right? We have so many entrepreneurs that all of us, really look up to and listen and follow and read what they're doing. And, with wealth comes a lot of influence in the world. You get invitations to come and talk to people. You get on the cover of Time magazine, right? Do you hear what I'm saying? Wealth also brings a lot of influence for the glory of God. So I would challenge you to really think about, what I'm doing now. Like, what are you doing right now? Do you have a job? Or are you, self-employed? Do you have your own business, or are you in the process of creating your own business? I would have you really think about that and really, get your mind aligned right with the fact that it is really a calling from God and a privilege to lead. It's a leadership position is really what it is. And it's something that we all have the ability to do. I believe every person comes resourced with the work that God intended them to bring out into the world. And, if you don't, if you've never really thought that way, tonight I want to kind of maybe throw some questions at you to have you think about that, because I believe that there's a big difference between having a job and co-creating with God from the work that He's designed you to do and gift you to do. Now, that being said, some of you are in your work, working in a job. I believe that, when I ask these questions, when you answer that about the job or your business, you're going to see the difference and see what I mean. So here's one question to ask yourself. Here it is. Do you have an all-absorbing passion for your work? Do you have an all-absorbing passion for your work? Does it light you up? Do you love it? Do you thrive there? Do you have energy about it? Can you not imagine doing that work? If you are employed by somebody, could you never imagine not being at that job? Like, you absolutely love it and you have a passion for it, and you are behind the values, and you're behind the mission of your company. You love what you do. I mean, you absolutely freaking love it. Like, you might be exhausted sometimes, and some days you might be like, I just feel like sleeping in. That's normal, right? But overall, are you lit up about the work that you do? Are you lit up about that? So that's one thing to really think about. So, like, for me, I just recently exited out of a job that I took, basically out of fear and lack mentality, to be real about it. Here I am, Miss Wealth Creator, right? Which I've been teaching for years, but I fell into this, I guess I'd better get this job, which started out as like a part-time kind of gig. And I thought I was going to it was going to fit in nicely with my work that God gave me to do. But it really, what happened was it kind of just, I saw my light diminishing in that work. And I realized I need to get out of here. This does not serve me. I don't have joy here. I don't feel like I am using my full God-given gifts and potential in this position. In fact, I felt like I was very diminished there and limited there. And I knew it was time for me to go and get back to doing this, get back to encouraging people, get back to helping people see the gifts and talents that they have inside of them, get back to inspiring people and helping them learn how they can, create wealth daily. So this is what I love to do. And so I'm very blessed that I get to do this again. But, and I hope you hear that I'm passionate about that, right? That nothing lights me up more than helping people understand their identity and their authority as a wealth creator, and helping them launch, grow, and expand that wealth. Nothing lights me up more than that. I could sit for hours with somebody with paper and pen and get business ideas out and draft them out and make plans and all that great stuff. I love to do it. So that's my thing. That's what I know I'm called to do. I'm called to encourage the wealth that you are out into the world so that you can soar and you can make a massive impact for God's glory too. While you're discovering how awesome you are, while you are operating fully from all the talent that you have, while you're feeling like you're giving value to the world instead of being in a job where you feel undervalued or maybe not even, unheard, right? This is the difference between having a job and being in your work. Okay? If you're in a job and you may be doing a good job. You may actually be doing an excellent job at it, but you don't love it, right? You're you don't feel like you're growing. You don't feel like you'd love to contribute more, but you feel limited, or you're undervalued. Your boss doesn't even see the gifts and talents that you have, or they really don't even give you a voice to contribute and collaborate in the way that you would love to do that. So there you are, you're in a job, okay? You got this job description and you need to do A, B, C, and D, and they really don't want to hear anything else about it from you, right? It's a job. It's not your work. And I will tell you that everybody has something, a work. Even if they're, maybe it's something like this. Maybe God's, you have a book that you're to write, okay? So you still may have a job, but you still have that fuel and that passion for writing, and you're creating books and all of those kinds of things. Everybody has something they're meant to contribute. I know this and I believe this. And when people start to uncover it and they start doing that work, they change. It's like you're not tired in your work. You're empowered, you're excited, and yes, there's going to be things that you're like, I don't even know how to do this or how to do this, but God does. And all of a sudden favor comes on your life when you step into it. People come alongside you, mentors come alongside you, crazy people like me show up in your face and, start talking and getting you thinking this way. Okay. So this is what starts to happen when you start getting curious about, am I in my work or am I just doing a job? And so, number one, do you have an all-absorbing passion for what you are doing to create money every day? God is concerned about this. He wants you happy and joyful and excited about what you're doing to make money. He really, really does. It matters to him. So that's number one. Number two, do you feel fully engaged in your business, in your work every day? Are you engaged in it? Are you alive in it? Are you engaged with, or are you just kind of coasting through the motions, right? Are you very intentional about your work? Are you thinking of how can I grow it and expand it? And how can I make it better? How can are you looking to find solutions, right? Are you looking to expand it? Because in the kingdom of heaven and earth, it's all about expansion. Seeds, when you put them in the ground and they grow, they reproduce. Okay, so this is how the earth works. Seeds, when you put them in the ground and they grow, they reproduce. Okay, so this is how the earth works. This is how we work. Everything we do is meant to multiply and increase. And so are you, expanding? Are you engaged in the business? Are you thinking about growth in the work that you do? Are you looking at how can I make this better, improve it? If you're operating that way, that's a good indicator to see that you're engaged in your work, because you're growing there. You're growing. We're always meant to be growing. Okay. So that's number two. Number three, do you experience fruitfulness and effectiveness in your work? Are you creating wealth? Are you seeing all of the things that you had in your mind come into form? The ideas that you have, are they developing? Have they showed up, right? Have you made an impact? Like maybe you had an idea to invent something, and now it's here, right? So this is what I mean. Is there fruit? Is there fruit? Are you growing in your ability it's here, right? So this is what I mean. Is there fruit? Is there fruit? Are you growing in your ability as a leader or a speaker, or has your writing improved? Fruit, as well as the money. So, these are three things to really sit with and look at and say, am I really in my work, or is this just a job for me? Because if there is no fruit, if there is no growth in you, if there is no joy in what you're doing, if you don't feel valued there, if you're not contributing, if you don't feel like you're making an impact, if you don't feel like you're making a difference, then you're just in a job. And there's a big difference. So God wants you to discover what your work is, because we each have it. He wants you to have, he desires for you to be in joy. And when you are in joy, the work does not feel, you don't dread Friday anymore. You don't dread Mondays, and you don't sit there counting the clock to Friday. In fact, when you step out of the job and go into being an entrepreneur, then you have a whole nother time freedom. And if you're like me and you start thinking smarter and you start realizing I should have a virtual business where I can work from anywhere in the world, working, with a Wi-Fi connection and a telephone. Really, that's all I do need. I do have a computer and all that too. But I'm saying, even if I didn't have my computer, I could still get all my work done just holding my cell phone. So that's freedom, right? That's freedom. I don't have any overhead. I don't have any products. I just get to sell a digital product, and I just get to teach people and inspire people and do all of this that I'm doing right now, getting you thinking differently, getting you thinking like the king and queen of the marketplace that you already are. And so this is what God desires for you too, is that, what is that dream that you wish you'd always do? Maybe you dreamed you always wanted to have a restaurant. Maybe you dreamed you wanted to write a book, and you're in a job. I'm telling you, there's an exit for you for that. If you're listening to me right now, God is really talking to you, and he wants you to discover your work, and he wants you to step into it. It's time. It's time, because there's no reason today why you can't do it. If you say, well, I don't have the money, well, I have a way where you can create a passive income daily, working 2-3 hours a day, and you can make a passive stream of income that could fund the bigger vision you have. Or maybe you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom from all the work that you did for somebody else, and you've become an expert in that field. Maybe you've been doing marketing for somebody for many years. Maybe you've been in healthcare, and you know a few things about training and leadership development, and you could go in and teach some things, okay? That could be a digital product, and you could be online too. Maybe you're going to create a course from all the knowledge that you have. Maybe you've done copywriting work forever, and you could today more than ever, people need help with learning how to write good copy. That's a huge industry. Even with AI now, I'm telling you, people still need to know, how do I get my message out? Okay, that's a big industry right now, especially because right now there's 5 point something billion people on social media, and the digital education space is projecting to go into the trillions. People want to learn. They're learning online. They're taking courses. They're taking workshops. They're doing challenges. It is a huge market. And so the potential for making wealth online is insane. So if you're huge market, and so the potential for making wealth online is insane. So if you're between having a job and work, and I would love to discover more of my God-given gifts and abilities and talents, and explore, who God designed me to be, I would love for you to, put it in the comments. I do have a blueprint that if you're interested in learning how to create an online business, and while you're learning, you can begin earning. You can get my blueprint, but either way, click the link, make a comment, connect with me. If you're not interested in the digital product, I'll still email you and we could touch base. And, if you want me to help you learn more about what is my work, because I love to do that. I love to sit with people and help them get those ideas flushed out and help them see the glory that God placed inside them that they already are. I do have programs for that too, and we could talk about that. I would love to talk to you about that. So connect with me there. But if you really are ready and you want to get out of that job and you're ready to make a serious online income, working 2-3 hours a day, and sharing some knowledge and wisdom and helping other people learn how they can break free from the 9 to 5, then you definitely want to click my link. And on October 15th, we're getting ready to start a 90-day sprint through Christmas where we're challenging each other to make about 20K. So I'd love to be with you in that and help encourage you to make $20,000 by Christmas. I'm going after it myself. So I'm looking for at least 10 people that I could really encourage and help mentor and go in with them and help them get a kingdom perspective around it, help them engage with the Holy Spirit around it, help them really, we'll pray, we'll get our minds right. We're just going to go in deep and do this 90-day sprint to making $20,000 before Christmas. So I am challenging myself to do it, and I would love to get some other people in the program with me, and we'll have our own little cheerleading group of 10, 12 people, and we'll see what we can do together. It'll be fantastic. Could you imagine if 10 people could get together, encourage each other, pray with each other, engage with the Holy Spirit, and hold each other accountable, and to getting to $20,000 before Christmas, what kind of impact we could make. I mean, I'm like sitting here getting my ho, ho, ho on Merry Christmas, because I already see me with the bag of, I'm going to be like the Secret Santa doling out gifts all over the world. So I think it'll be really cool to come in and make 20K by Christmas. So connect with me. I would love to, inspire you, encourage you, and help you operate from the fullness of your identity and authority as a wealth creator, because that is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I see you there, El Boogie and Aaron. Is it Aaron Cutter? Thank you for joining me. And Rosie, you're there. And Steven, I see you. I appreciate you. And Caesar, hey, I really, 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 really do appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me. It means a lot to me. I'm just called to just encourage the wealth out of you. That is who I am. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. I do try to get in here every night around 9:30-ish. I'm trying to be much better about that. I'm self-governing myself, okay? So connect with me, make a comment, click the link. Let's change your world. Have a great night, everybody.